As President Bush's term in office draws to a close, he's focusing his attention on the Middle East, hoping to leave a legacy of peace in the region. George Bush is scheduled to visit Egypt and Saudi Arabia, but the first stop for Air Force One will be Israel in an attempt to galvanize the settlement negotiations between Ehud Olmert and Mahmoud Abbas. The Israelis, though, are unlikely to miss the opportunity to warn Mr. Bush not to be complacent over Iran. Well, we're joined in the studio now by Ron Prosor, the Israeli ambassador to Britain. Very good morning to you, Mr. Ambassador.
Good morning.
It's President Bush's first visit to Israel in his entire presidency. Are you surprised it's taken him that long to get to Israel?
Well, President Bush visited Israel and was taken by the Prime Minister Sharon 7 years ago. So it is his first visit as a president, but I think it's important for him to come at this stage and to try and strengthen the moderate forces in the region who really want peace and want to reach compromise, and that is why he's not only stopping in Israel, but into Saudi Arabia and Egypt and the Emirates, which should be on a supportive role in order to really push and support those who really want peace.
Well, what do you think he can achieve? Of course, America hosted the Annapolis conference back in November last year, got all the interested parties together. Can he push that process forward? Absolutely.
I think that the coming to the region and showing color and saying, look, we are behind the process, the United States of America leading a European effort in trying to really build and structure a Palestinian state which has the law and order and a nature of a state that can live side by side to Israel in peace and security.
We know Israel has many contacts with the Palestinian Authority. What about Hamas now, who control Gaza? Do you think President Bush can get you to talk to them? Do you need to talk to them to have any realistic, lasting settlement?
No, I really believe that we have to really make a separation between those extremists that really want to do everything they can in order to derail the process and the moderates headed by Mahmoud Abbas. 2008 can be a crucial year. It can be a crossroad. It's either Hamas or Mahmoud Abbas. And we really have to make a point that out of those two authorities, thousands of guns and no law, will be back to an authority which is functioning in a proper way, and we have to isolate all those who are trying to do their best in order to derail the process. There are many on both sides who want peace.
But are you now satisfied? You put an awful lot of pressure in the past on Mahmoud Abbas. Are you now satisfied that the Palestinian Authority are doing enough to try and rein in the militants? I see it's come up on the newswires this morning that there will be more rocket attacks on Israel from Lebanese territory.
Look, not enough is being done, and what we see out of Gaza lately is just something that no democratic government can really sustain. We had 148 rockets in the last 7 days on Shderot and villages in Israel, and I feel that there has to be an upgrade here on what is done against terror and against those missiles. But I can tell you that before Bush's visit, many in Israel, and I think many on the Palestinian sides, are really there who want peace, and we have to do our best in order to really support those who really want to achieve something with compromise and not with violence.
Can President Bush really twist arms? Everyone knows he's in his last year as president. Some say he's a lame duck president. Can't you choose to ignore him, or the Palestinians or anyone else choose to ignore him if they like?
I think that the US administration, and I served in Washington for 4 years, has been on the ball for a very long time and is making a serious effort which is important to all of us, and we should cherish everyone. President Bush, Tony Blair, Gordon Brown, and David Miliband, and everyone in Europe who tries his best to help a region which really needs help. We will do, as the state of Israel and the people of Israel, our utmost to really make peace, as we've shown in the past.
What is your assessment of the threat, the other big threat to the region posed by Iran, in particular its nuclear ambitions?
Look, this combination of an Ayatollah regime on the one hand, delivery systems with nuclear weapons, is a global threat not only to the state of Israel, but to the whole region. It's obvious that what we see lately, yesterday, that the Iranians with this leadership are making moves which are more and more bold. Iran has to be stopped. We can do that if we are determined and unified.
Can I just interrupt you there and say,
Absolutely.
when you say we can do that, do you mean militarily? Israel could do it militarily?
No, I think we're all focusing now on the diplomatic front with sanctions. I think we've not done enough. We should make the Iranians understand that there's a price to pay if they continue to try and achieve nuclear weapons. What we see is clearly a regime which does everything it can in order to derail things in the region, not only with those weapons, but with terror and what they're doing in the region with Hezbollah and Lebanon. We have to have a global response to a global threat to all of us from Iran.
Okay, I just want to pick you up there on the nuclear threat. America's own intelligence agency has said that Iran gave up its nuclear development program back in 2003. Presumably you disagree?
I would just like to quote from the American NIA report, which says that the Iranians until 2003 had a nuclear weapons program, hence they lied to the world once, and that's clear. The Iranians are continuing to enrich. The Iranians don't have a lack of oil, hence there's no real reason why the Iranians should have a nuclear weapons program. And they continue to do that. They are smart, and we have to make sure that they do not have nuclear weapons, because a regime like that, with a delivery system, with nuclear weapons, is a deadly combination for the region and for the world itself.
And you would support military intervention if necessary on that issue?
I would put it this way, that we should do, and I think it's important for all of us, and we're not eager in Israel like anyone else. We should really do everything we can to stop Iran by all means, and we should have all options on the table.
Okay, Ron Prosor, the Israeli ambassador to London. Thank you very much indeed for joining us here on Sky. It's time for the business news.